Well. Good afternoon, everyone. Good morning to Latin America. Thank you, Ananda, Jinsi. Before I start, thank you for this opportunity. It is amazing to be here in the Metaverse Summit. And let's hope you enjoy this. And there's so much value that you can learn from this presentation. I was just hearing about Joao, and there's so many topics that we can all talk about for hours and hours. But let's get into it. As you can see, the topic for this moment is going to be education and development. And the headline and title of this presentation, well, when I was thinking about it, was like, how can we actually propose a thesis that it's sexy, but also really important for the metaverse onboarding, the adoption, and everything that we're doing over here. All the speakers were talking about it, and I believe this is going to be crucial for our future. So as you can see, the title is called Metaverse, the imperative tool for education, evolution, and for corporate development. So to start, I want to share with you a little bit about myself. I'm a Guatemalteco. This is called when you're a guy from Guatemala. I'm from Central America, and it's an honor, really an honor. And I'm really proud to be over here with you guys, sharing about this important topic. I'm a really curious guy. I'm also really creative. That's at least how I call myself. I'm an entrepreneur, a serial entrepreneur. I have some experiences through life, and I'm really adventurous. I love to go on an adventure, even if it's a project or just go on a hike and have fun. And the thing is that with this context, one of the many milestones that I've had in my life is that I've been calling myself, and now I can call myself an ex-specialista. And let me share with you guys why ex-specialista is important, because it is in Spanish, yeah, but because of the X, and it's not because of your exes and all of that, but it's because of the experience that I've gained in many, many fields. I've been having some work experience in the entertainment industry, in the retail industry, as business intelligence, many different industries, and that has come to me as an experience. And when I look at this word, it's always something that I'm really proud of, saying, well, I'm an especialista. I don't want to be a special, but I can call myself that I have a lot of experience in many different topics. It's not that I'm the most experienced guy, but now I'm a specialized generalist, and that's, you can see that on my Twitter bio. But well, with this on the table, I just want to say that I've been a teacher at the university and a college down in Guatemala. I've had so many opportunities to actually teach online and in the present world. And when I look at the tools and all the benefits that the metaverse actually offers, is actually blowing my mind lately. And that's why I wanted to talk about this so important topic. So just to start, the lineup is going to be like this. We're going to talk a little bit about the not elephant in the room, because we all are talking about it. Then we're going to talk a little bit about the educational comfort, and then you can see about how this actually makes sense in a couple of slides. Then the corporate cleverness, and that's a big opportunity for everyone who's on the corporate industry right now and over here listening to this presentation. The metaverse individuality, that it's actually something that is really fun for me, and about a project, about a proposal that I want to talk to you about, and our lightning mission, how we call it. So, as we said, I'm Francis Sanchinelli. I'm from Guatemala, and I'm the founder of Badass. That what Badass means is business development as a service. So, to start, and I want to be really dynamic about it. So, if you guys have any question, please just put it on in the chat, and I'm going to try to just look at it and try to be answering these questions while we're talking about this topic. Yeah, so thumbs up if that's a good idea. So these two questions are, for me, one of the most important questions right now for everyone who are here at the Metaverse Summit, talking about how the Metaverse is going to evolve and how are we going to have adoption about the Metaverse and all the Web3 technology. And the first one is, are we using technology right? Yeah, that's one of the big questions. And just today I was coming on a taxi here in Barcelona because I'm on a meetings trip, and there was a guy talking on the radio about how the technology is being used and all the pros and cons around the technology and about a proposal of this the digitalization, no digitalization in Spain. I don't know, you got me. And it was really interesting about how they talked about it. And it was like, are we using the technology right? And the second question that we're going to try to answer in this context is going to be, how does online interaction impact our motivation? Yeah, because it's actually motivation and how we actually interact with each other and have this social around it. So, for starters, the not elephant in the room. Everybody knows, everyone's talking about how this metaverse is for, I don't know, for hackers, for geeks, or people that are really, really interested on the technology, but it's not a technology that is actually close to the people, that is actually close to real use cases. But that's probably why we're talking about this and how these events like the Metaverse Summit actually makes sense. Because what we need is to, as Joao just said in a couple of minutes ago, is we need to spread the word that the metaverse can be a tool and it can be used wisely and it can be used smart. So everyone says that the guys behind the metaverse probably are going to be hacked. There are going to be privacy issues, and that metaverse is something that you don't understand. So the unknown seems to be kind of attracting people to participate on the metaverse. But that's maybe because we have think and sometimes even teachers and corporate people have think that one size fits all, and it doesn't. It doesn't fit all. We don't have to use the metaverse for everything. We don't have to use blockchain. We don't have to use AI for everything. We just need to understand where and how and to whom we're using the technology for and how are we going to use it. So if you see at this picture, it got me laughing because it was like, yeah, we're almost on the one side as a student or as an employee, or just like thinking about what is this mess these guys is talking about us for this technology and this software and everything. And on the other side, the teacher, the CEO is so glad about the innovation they're doing. They think this is going to work, but it's actually not that easy. But there's so many points that we can talk about how we can make it better. So these are some of the, and I know you can relate to this, some topics and words that people talk about the metaverse is like, and the technology when it's disruptive technologies, that is inequality of resources, because if you don't have the perfect phone, the perfect laptop, software, infrastructure, you're not going to be able to use it right. There's some disengagement about technology on education, that actually students are not engaged in the way they should. So it's causing burnout to the teachers, and after COVID, everything just got worse. Budget is it's a big word that everyone talks about, is how expensive it is to go out actually on the metaverse. Do I need to build my own metaverse? Or what do I need to do to actually be able to interact and get into the metaverse? Some of them are lack of concentration for education, but also the resistance to change. If you see this, and I want to actually get back to you guys if you have any question about this, but these are some of the words that I relate when I talk to people about the metaverse, the AI, for education, for corporate development, and for anything around these disruptive technologies. So but it's too expensive, but it takes too much time to actually be able to train myself, or there's no resources for this, or the vision of the company is not this. Can you relate? Well, I believe you can. And it's because, yeah, this is the elephant in the room. This is what everyone's talking about, but we haven't done anything on this, in my opinion, about this. And I know there's many projects, and probably in Europe and in Asia, that they are the one leading the Web3 education and the metaverse education and all these disruptive technologies testing. But they haven't gone to Latin America or to a full global impact yet. So as we talked about this, and I told you, I believe there's, because we have educational comfort from students' side and from the teachers' side. From the student side, right now, the disruptive technologies, AI, metaverse, and everything is making them hackers. It's making them so easy to go class by class, period by period, just trying to pass the class and be a hacker around everything what they need to do. They're using AI probably not the right way, because they're using AI just to copycat and to be do copy paste in it, and to be maybe lazy on the way they educate themselves and the way they learn. They do copy paste a lot. If there's a teacher over here, I know you're gonna raise your hand and say, "Yeah, I can see that everyone is doing copy paste because of AI." ChatGPT got so popular that it actually impacted the students. And also, one of the insights that I had talking to different institutions and colleges and friends and colleagues is that it seems like the students are doing everything on the last minute. And if that's not working, they're actually pointing at the tech as if it was the tech's fault. Because it's like, I didn't do my homework, I didn't do this, it's not working, technical issues, and everyone is just gaining that on their side because on their benefit. But if we go to the teacher side, and when I talk about educational comfort on the teacher side right now, about context, it's like the agility that the teachers have right now is probably not the best. They're not trying to be agile to actually adapt and to be able to reconnect with the new generations. We're not going to talk about the generations or marketing and millennials and Generation Z, but as we know, the digital nomads are the digital nomads right now. And there are many, many things happening around different generations that the agility and the capability to adapt to this is crucial. But the teachers are kind of comfortable in the way they're doing. There's a lot of resistance, as I've been talking to teachers, to actually adopt new technologies as the metaverse, as AI, as blockchain on their courses, because they don't know about it. They have a lack of creativity. They don't even know what to do about the creativity, and probably they're just going paycheck to paycheck, month by month, doing what they've told from so many years around. And the patience, you can probably say patience is almost over, because there are a lot of different more um, technicalities that they need to solve day by day that they were not used to it. So, and here's an important stat is by 2020 they were talking about, and this is because how we're going to talk about this now is that 30% of the learning and development professionals aim to integrate games and simulations to their programs, to their curriculums. So, are we actually doing that today? Are we actually using and that have this percentage come up in the last 3 years, 2 years? And how can we talk about motivation versus evolution? Because one thing is to actually motivate a student to be able to play a game, but the other thing is to actually evolve an educational program so the student learns while he's playing. That's totally different. Because if not, we just like pushing and empowering the laziness of our students. But then, if we change it from the educational context to the corporate context, we can see that the corporate cleverness has gone viral. You know, with remote working, they sent all the employees to work at their home, the ones they could, and they were just using Zoom and Microsoft Teams and Google Meet. And they were just using it because they knew this would pay them more revenue, less cost, and they were taking advantage of this situation. Some of them did well, some of them didn't, but the cleverness was over there. But the thing is that to actually be able to disrupt with technology, you need to break a pattern. And think it's, as I quote it, is think of it as an unexpected act that jolts them into another state of mind. When you are on a corporate level and when you have all the way the same routine, connecting to Zoom, talking to your team, going back to one-on-ones on Google Meet, different WhatsApp calls, you're doing the same every day. You get to be less creative and you get to be comfortable in the way you're doing. So your state of mind is not evolving. So the metaverse is what actually takes this to the next and to another level. And that's our proposal over here. And that's what I'm talking to you. It's about how the metaverse individuality actually enhances innovation and technology and makes the click on game begins. Because the metaverse is going to offer us a lot of different benefits. But if we can sum that up into the four main benefits is about inclusion, about uniqueness, about collaboration, and about safety. As inclusion, you know that there's cultural inclusion and so different topics around this, that on the metaverse, you can be whoever you want. And that's also about uniqueness. You're just going to be you. There's not going to be someone else that is related or the same as you, the way you behave, the way you interact with different things on the metaverse. And collaboration seems to be really positive on the metaverse because you need to be active to actually collaborate. It's not the same as just like unmuting yourself and saying, hi, morning, goodbye, thank you. There on the metaverse, you actually have to interact, to go to a place, to go and try to touch something, and then to point something and click on something. So you're going to be able to actually get the information someone else is giving to you. So imagine this for education and for corporate development, onboarding use cases, and all of them around it. It's crazy how the metaverse could actually impact this world. But then is how I wanted to talk to you about the project that we're doing. And this is our proposal. And MAS is the Metaverse as a Service. And as you can talk about it, probably as we started this presentation, is like people think that the metaverse is too expensive. They don't know how to use it. They don't have the depths, and there are not too many developers around it. But probably we can already use what there is on the market. For example, spatial. Spatial is something where you can go and you can start building your own metaverse and be able to offer products and services that actually solve these real world patterns. And I like to use this Levi Hertz model because I believe it's really simple to understand is how we take real world patterns, routines, and things that are already happening on the real world to the virtual experiences to make them different on the metaverse, to make them valuable on the metaverse for the people, for the education, and for corporate development. Imagine you can go on the mental health session on the metaverse. It would be crazy. Imagine, and it's already happening. Imagine you can actually go and have a one-on-one with your chief, but that day it was too much traffic to actually go over there. Or another case, you didn't want to see him, but you have the chance to actually interact on the metaverse because you were not feeling well. Whatever the use case it is, you can use the metaverse as a positive, valuable tool to actually go there and interact in a different way. That is not an email, that is not a Zoom call, that is not Google. So the vision of this is to actually use the metaverse. And for us is to be the reference in the next 3 years for technological and innovation spaces that facilitate interaction and communication for leaders in Latin America. And I believe with this is the time is almost up, but I know it was too short to actually be able to share with you all the ideas and all the pieces that we have around it. But we are already building this project. We're building a project where you're going to be able to actually go as a corporation or an organization, as a psychologist, as a student, to learn in a different way, to break the pattern, and to be able to use the technology for your benefit as an imperative tool of evolution and development. So this is what we're talking about. Let's go hybrid. Let's use that technology. Let's use the metaverse when we need to use it. And let's try to spot those use cases where they're really, really valuable and where we can actually do something out. This is my contact, and I'm going to try to open these last minutes for any questions that you guys have. I hope you enjoyed it, and there's a seed planted about how we can use technology and disruptive technology as a metaverse for education, evolution, and for corporate development. Anyone? So thank you, Ananda, thank you, Yinsi, and everyone over here. Keep on learning and keep on using the technology in the right way because it is a tool, and it is a tool that can be valuable for everyone.